Hey, Planeswalkers, Mithras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today we got a number one deck for you. We've closed out September season and now we're moving into October. So very excited to play this. I think you'll find after the post ban we're going to mash two top decks together, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So pretty excited to play this one for you today. I think many of you may either be very happy or very upset post Euro ban here. So let's go ahead and hop into it. But before we do so, just want to say thank you as always. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. I appreciate the support. Additionally, you can like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. All right, so this number one deck that we have, my friends, you may have guessed it, we have Omnath once again, but it is a Omnath of Adventures deck. So a couple things here that I think are very important. One, the meta to some extent, I'll say, has been resolutioned pretty quickly, even though we didn't see a bunch of bannings and we just saw the one, and obviously that was impact to Omnath, but in my opinion didn't make a big enough shift, and hence we have our lovely Adventures Temur Clover, Lucky Clover deck being mashed with Omnath, and we are getting a Omnath Adventures deck here that's pretty nasty. So I think you're going to either have a lot of fun with it or you're going to hate it. At least the benefit that I've seen so far is we don't got a bajillion triggers going on. So the gameplay goes a little bit faster, we'll just say. But let's go ahead and take a look at this list. It is available for you down below. We'll cover some of the change up here post-Euro ban. We'll talk about the sideboard and then go from there and play some best of one and some best of three mythic matches. Obviously, we're at Platinum here, restarting today. So this deck list is available for you down below, so you have access to it right away. And here's what we got going on in this deck. I think it will look very familiar with the Temur Clover deck that we've recently done, and then obviously with our buddy here, Omnath. Here is the land mix-up for you. We are running 25 lands, but we do have the modal lands. So we got those there. We got Bala, and that is pretty healthy. Additionally, we can pull here as well with Beanstalker, and then another modal land here with Shatterskull. The breakout is we got a very small sliver here of planes, and the other thing that I do like is we do have Giant Killer here as a one-off. We also have Kenrith as a one-off, which is pretty big. So for those of you that are familiar with first off Temur Clover, and it's Omnath, let's talk about what that means. And then obviously this is 4-color because we are running Omnath. So one gets the name from this guy here, Omnath, Locus of Creation. Landfall triggers when this creature enters, we get to draw a card. Additionally, landfall, when the first one enters, we get 4 life. If we can do it again, we can add 4 mana, and then if we do it again, deals 4 damage to our opponent and each planeswalker we don't control. So that's the first piece. The second piece here resembles this particular one is Adventures because it is 4-color, but traditionally it was a Temur Adventure deck or Temur Clover, Lucky Clover, so that's where this comes from. And it is all based around Edgewell Innkeeper as your draw engine, and then we got the Fae of Wishes to access our sideboard, which we will talk about here in a second, and then a lot of cards here that have our favorite adventure, where we can double, triple, and quadruple up on some of that casting with our lovely Lucky Clover there. So does a lot of things. Big plays happen with this deck. And then a couple again of the change up here. We do have Giant Killer, and then we also have Kenrith here as well. And then as we talked about, some of the mortal lands. So we're running 25. We got a good healthy blend here as well. So that is the key components of this deck. If you got questions or comments, please let me know down below. We're going to go ahead and talk about the sideboard, and then I want to talk through maybe I'll cover some of what you would sideboard. Most likely you're going to keep this the same, but you may want to change a couple things up in the mirror match, which we'll cover here in a second. And then additionally, how you want to enable that sideboard with Fae of Wishes. And this deck does take a little bit of practice to get used to and when to pull, because it is very situational. in terms of what you will be pulling here. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So first we got Stern Dismissal. This is return target creature enchantment an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So that's an instant spell. Where are you going to want to do this? There's things like Ashiok that people may play the 4-drop, and they may target things like Omnath, at which point you're going to want to pull this to get that off the board. There are other enchantments, obviously, or creatures that you may want to push back situationally for a win condition, things of that nature. Next, we got Red Cat Melee. So here, 4 damage to creature or planeswalker. I would pull this in terms of a mirror match. I would pull this against anything red when you need to blow it out of the water and gain some board control as well. It's great against Omnath. Obviously, we already know that. So those are a few options for you. Next, we got Shadow Spear. So this is a big one. This is always a good early pick. If you're wondering what you want to do, I would pull Shadow Spear here. It's very helpful to keep the life gain. Additionally, for the other thing that people forget, there is lose hexproof and indestructible. It's always it can be very situational and helpful at times, but really, again, that +1/+1, the trample and the lifelink to go over the top pairs very well with our lovely Lovestruck Beast, or even Bone Crusher, or even in the air with Brazen Borrower, and then obviously Omnath too. Next, we have Negate. So where would I pull Negate? So one, I'd pull Negate against Mirror Match to shut down Escape of the Wilds. Also, there are the Ultimatum decks running Feldar still, so you may want to play that as an option. Additionally, when you need to worry about other control decks, having a Negate in your hand is not necessarily going to be a bad thing. Then we have Fling. So Fling here is a great way to pair with Beanstalk Giant. So you drop Beanstalk Giant, you got a 11/11, you can't quite get over the top because you didn't pull Shadow Spear, or later in the game and you just need to pop a 1 off here. Fling is going to be your card as an additional cost to cast a spell. You can sacrifice a creature. Fling deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target. So you're just going to hit them right to the face, and we'll call it a day. Next, we got Return to Nature. So this destroys target artifact, enchantment, or exiles a card from a graveyard. Where would you want to play this? Against mono red that play Phoenix, get those things out of the graveyard. You may also want to play this against some of the Rakdos decks, or even the not Gruul, sorry. Well, you could play Gruul too, because they may be running Phoenix as well. But I'm thinking more of Grixis. So there are some Grixis decks still around now that are running our sack guy, our buddy, and you may want to play this to get that card out of the graveyard as well. So long live Euro, maybe, but we don't have to worry about that as much anymore. So those are a couple options. Additionally, against a Rogues deck, you may want to pull this just to target your own board so that they don't pull Omnath in with Xerath or something like that. That's always a good option. You guys can take a look at my Rogues video. My deck doesn't run Xerath. I know a lot of questions around that, but you could absolutely pop that in there. So go ahead and check out that list. And you're going to want to pull this in the mirror match to dump Lucky Clover as well. All right, so here we have Mystical Dispute. So this is what I was talking about in terms of maybe sideboarding a few things. This would be what I would do in best of 3. I would maybe pull this one in and drop some of these guys out here and put them into your sideboard for the reason of the mirror match. You could also consider that with Neutralize. Otherwise, where would I pull these two? Again, when you need to shut down your opponent, you need to counterspell. Mystical Dispute, if you can get that slip in there for things like Omnath. Neutralize, again, for the hard one, as well as if you want the cantrip uncounterable draw there for 2 as well. Next, we got Storm's Wrath. You're going to want to pull this as your board wiper. This works really well in the mirror match. It works well against Feldar's Retreat, which is another version of Omnath, but obviously not the number one. So we're doing the number one today. And this will do wonders against any decks that build the board really quickly. Things like mono red, mono green, any of the Scoot decks or Scoot Bug decks, those kinds of things as well can work well against our Gruul aggro friends or any of the landfall decks. Next, we got Once in Future. So this is a very powerful card. I think we covered this previously with the Temur Adventures deck, but again, just to double click here, this is an instant, but we can also return target card from our graveyard to our hand, put 1 other card from your graveyard on top of your library and exile this card. However, if 3 green mana was spent to cast this, instead we can return 2 of those cards to our hand. So very powerful to pull any of these cards back. So this is a big thing. You can pull any of these back. Hopefully you hear me again, any of these cards back. So essentially going from a 1 of to a 2 of on your sideboard, which is very, very helpful in terms of what you're doing with your Fae of Wishes. So again, very situational, but a powerful one to have. Next, we got Escape to the Wilds. I always like it, so I think they've done a nice job here of putting this one on the sideboard. Very important in terms of pulls here, and especially if you don't have this one, you definitely want to get this up. So this is always a good early turn. So I'd consider Shadow Spear and Escape to the Wilds as my 2 kind of front runner picks. Ugin is awesome for late game and to help you seal the deal. I would play this obviously once you have enough mana. Next, we have Primal Might. So this is when you need to pick something off the board. This is a really, really good card. And again, very, very situational. And then last, Fabled Passage. So we put this one here for a reason. Again, pairs well with Omnath. The ability to pull this in, drop it, fetch for another land if you need is also very, very helpful and something to consider and keep in mind as well. Whew, big breath there. We went through a lot. Again, if you have questions or comments, please let me know down below. I'm happy to help. This deck list, by the way, is by Ulrich, and that's Gregors Kowalski, so Yerlich, so professional Magic player and member of the MPL team. So keep that in mind. Hats off to them for hitting #1 with this deck very quickly after the post ban. So doing a wonderful job. Again, list is available for you down below. Questions, comments, let me know. Here to discuss. With that said, that's going to cover our portion of what is the deck, talking through some of the nomenclature there. Additionally, how to play it from a best of 1 and also best of 3. We do consider some sideboard things as an option, but should give you a good idea of how we would work through this and approach it. And let's go take, I want to say Hulk Smash because I love the adventure smashing Omnath kind of a thing, but let's go smash some opponents hopefully here today. So with that said, Planeswalkers, we are going to jump into our best of 1 and then our best of 3 ranked here. So let's go ahead and do that. And obviously we got the mono red deck here. You guys can check that one out. And we'll play and go forward here. Hopefully my volume's better. Sorry, I didn't realize I had it down. Quickly, before we kick off here, I just want to say thank you as always. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date. All right, so we're first. I like this. It's a good play for us, so we'll keep it. Oh, and I did forget that I have my volume settings down, so that's probably one of the reasons. All right, feeling better now. So we got that. Let's do this and that. Apologies for adjusting on the fly. Hopefully it doesn't affect too much on the video background music, but we'll find out here. Should be good. All right, it's going to be a wonderful mirror match here. We don't need to worry about Omnath right yet, so we can do this. We will do this, and we want to get him off the board. So don't hit your guy again. Hit him. You will lose off the copy, so pro tip there that you're going to have to be careful of always. So with Omnath, we got red, white, and blue. I can go pull something else here, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Or we can actually do this first, because this is going to be the better play. play Omnath, and then we'll save Fabled Passage here for our next turn. And with that said, we'll get Escape to the Wilds triggered, and hopefully we can trigger Omnath's piece. So if they have... Yep. They're going to get this jump on us there. They got the nice ramp. So they're one short. They can push Omnath back. Oh, there's a clover. Or they can bomb them, which is what's going to happen. Yep. Extraordinarily unfortunate for us. I am actually going to do this. And we'll take them off. I didn't want to push with Brazen because that would have gave him another draw. So for those of you asking, and we may have to do it here anyway. Just to slow him down. And obviously, we get the mirror match. So they got that nice ramp ahead of us with their giants. We have our giants, so we can pull 2. It's going to cost me 3. Let's do this first. Alright, so we can access our Fae of Wishes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go grab Ugin. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're gonna get their 8. We're just one turn behind here. Alright, so we will play our red. And we need to pull 4. And let's do... Take that, resolve. Alright, so we're going to grab Ugin, and we'll grab Storm's Wrath. And we just lost that, so pretty good. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can obviously down 7 and get him out. So the thing is, now that they got their counter, they have to sit on it long enough. So we have a couple of things here. We can either try and access the sideboard again with our Fae, or we can do a couple other things. So we're going to give this a shot here. What's that give me? It's not enough yet. So we're playing around his board, trying to. So based off our board, they should at least have a few more counters left. There's one. But now, again, they have to hold it open. They don't have two. They don't have two. And they can't hit both. And we can go 3 here. Now, they'll probably play Elspeth Conquers Death. If they don't, yeah, there they go. Now we will go grab our counter spells.
I no longer wish to stay.
We don't. Wow, we could hit the land. We'll see if he counters. We're in a tough spot. So we need to do a few things here. We got that. They're going to be 1 turn ahead, though. Let's target creature. We have fling. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't have enough yet on that. I'll grab flying in case we need to hit them. Problem is, Elspeth will bring it. They'll be able to bring it back. So we're gonna run into some problems. Again, the 1 turn early on was getting the 1 land ahead of us. Became our bane of this match. And this one, it's the thing about this deck is it does take a while to play.
I come bearing the wisdom of the ancients. Do not ignore echoing talents.
There we go. So unfortunately, some of the stuff is going to be very, very expensive. So we will do this. And I'm trying to bait him to some extent. So we'll see. And I still have a Fae, so I'm going to leave that one back. And we'll draw. There we go. No clover. Probably Omnath. That would be my guess. There it is. They can clear everything if they want. There it is.
All creation can be undone.
All right, let's see if we can. Here we go. We can make some magic happen as long as they don't have a counter. Here we go. And we will go like so. And then let's get our max going. Just grab a red.
Do not threaten.
So next turn he'll go up by 2. He needs to kill our beanstalk. So we can hang on to flying. So we're good there. And let's do... So is that 4, 6? We're gonna go 7. And our friend is bigger than their friend. All right. And we're at 27, they're at 33, so keep an eye on some of those things. And we still can pull 2 cards with Beanstalk. So probably Red Cat Melee would be my guess. And that works.
My research has concluded. Don't even need a deck then, to be honest. But we can.
Alright, so we have our neutralize still in place. We can pull with our Fate of Wishes. We have another Beanstalk. No. They can't pull 4 and play once in future right now, I don't think. It'd be close. We're not going to counter here. If they do a slip, though, they'll protect it. But we can go grab more counters. This is a long, long best of 1 match. That's fine. So we can actually hit in. I'm not going to cover that. We can hit in. Once in future, our flying, depending on what they do here. And go from there. Oh, we could do that too. Let's swing in. Let's see if I can bait him with the edge walls. Did not work. And let's go pull. Let's grab. A negate. So what we should have done is played this first, now I think about it, and grabbed Shadow Spear, then attacked, then pulled, and then flying, and that would have gave us lethal. So there is a chance here that we don't come back, but I'm gonna try it. Try to protect here quickly. We don't need him on the board. Because we won't have enough counter spells. Oh, I had lethal. That's brutal when that happens. Brutal, brutal, brutal. We'll use one counter there. And I don't care about the giant right now, so we gotta keep that in mind. So we still have a chance here. So we will play this. We go 1 blue and 1 white. Oh, well, we don't need a pull. So we'll do what we need to do this time. We'll grab our Shadow Spear. And then we will grab Once in Future. Let's do a red. And we'll still need a red. I think we got it this time. We got a redo. We got a redo, which is very important here. And we have protection on 1 counter with a dispute. Oh. They can use Once in Future, but they don't have enough for a counter. Oh, we got it. Very, very good turnaround. A super long game for 1 win in best of 1. All right, let's go to our next match. That was quite a match, to say the least. All right, our next one here. So ideally, both the best of 1 and best of 3 are kind of the same. Minus our opponent's sideboard. The only options that we would bring in there would be potentially some of the sideboarding stuff. We'll play this because we're close on Omnath. We do have a couple of options to delay, so we'll go ahead and play Card Reader here. But whew. All right, let's see what we got going on. Oh, bummer, bummer, bummer. All right, looks like mono green so far. Yep. So that is an interesting play. We'll see if we can get that off the board. There we go. All right. So, as long as they don't have a fight card, we'll be okay. Or a creature. I'm debating if I want to trade. Trading's probably okay. I'm gonna guess they're gonna do a fight here, though. Yep. See, that's why I wish I would have maybe had one more first. That's okay. Here we go. What's this? Red. Oh. Not gonna return that yet. We don't really need it. So now it's like a top deck Magic game. I'll block. And we'll push this one. Here we go. We can resolve. Oh shoot, I should have. That was dumb. That was a bad choice, sorry. I should have pushed, then let it hit. Oh, that was a misplay on my end. And we'll be nice and push this guy back now. Ah. We gotta mute this guy. Oh, that is a bummer, bummer, bummer. We could have I guess I could have pulled Bone Crusher and double hit him. That might have been the right play. Now, if I were them, now at this point, we're gonna have a hard time coming back for a couple of reasons. We don't have anything that is giving us any leverage here at all. I mean, I could pull that back. I could pull that back. They're not going to do much for us, unfortunately. All they need to do here is they can put yes, if they put that actually on Stone Coil,
doesn't matter, actually. It's lethal either way. Bummer, bummer, bummer. But that's the way it goes. So misplay really wouldn't have done much. We would have survived one more turn, 2 more turns, but we didn't really draw anything. So you spend 30, 40 minutes with the deck on best of 1, and then you lose in 10, and that's how it goes. So, all right. Planeswalkers, first match was great. Really saw a lot. Second match, not so much. And third match here is going to be our best of 3. So we will play this one standard, traditional ranked. And we'll go ahead and play this. And then hopefully by the time we get done with this, you guys are going to be experts. But this deck takes a lot of work and a lot of practice, like I said. So if you've been playing Omnath, you've been playing adventures, mash them together like we say, you'll be off to a good start from experience. Quickly here again, though, before we get started, I just want to say thank you. As always, appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. If you like the video, please like it. Also, feel free to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. All right, so we are going to mulligan this. I do not like this starting hand. This one I like much better. And I'm going to dump Kenrith, actually, and we'll go from there. And, ooh, this could get interesting. Counter's deck. Here we go. Here we go. And we're off to a slow start. Abzan counters it is. And this is going to get nasty fast. So this is where you're going to want to pull your 4 board wipe. But, we can slow our opponents down, but we're going to have a really hard time here off the start off this one. Wait. Oh. We're going to go to our next match here because we're not going to be able to... Well, let's see. I'll play it out. I mean, we can block Luminarch. We can block Conclave. That is a problem. They double on stone. And it would have been game. So they didn't do that. So we live to play another day. I don't think we have enough to bring it back. No. Alright, on to the next one. So that wasn't a good start. So we got Abzan. So in terms of sideboarding, again, as we discussed, options would be Mystical Dispute. I'm going to leave these here because we're going to want to pull that. We're probably going to want to pull Shadow Spear. We're probably going to want to pull Storm's Wrath, like I said, first. Primal Might's going to be helpful. We do have good options here in our main board. We just did not get to the right start there, unfortunately, in our best of 3 match. So, you know, obviously land base is important, the clover stuff's important, but we gotta have something in our starting hand. We've seen that as a pretty common theme here. We do have the ability to recover just because of the nature of the deck, but if we can't get any engines going early, we are going to run into some problems here. All right, so this is not quite there yet. But we can pull green, and we can leverage bean to get Lotus, so I'm going to try it. I'm actually going to do this early and go this route first. Ooh, there you go. So we do have a destroy target as well here. One, two, three, four, five. We can go 6. We can play our guy here. We can go red. Could do that. I'm kind of waiting on this. I'm just thinking here on what we could play. I think I do need to pull. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can pull the board wipe. We'll get Luminarch off and mech. But what will happen is they'll make their killer guys going to get much bigger. And now we got 2 of them. So we got Ugin, we can get rid of everything on the board. Not Great Henge though, that's fine. So we are going to lose everything here anyway. So I think we block. Because we don't even have a land here for Omnath. We could take 1. Maybe we take 1. Oh, there's clover. All right.
Unutilized knowledge is rotting rot.
Go to 4. Ozolith escapes death. Oh, haste land. Nice. Very nice.
You cannot quell the fury.
We needed that. We absolutely needed that.
Cower before the elements.
Oh, we're not even gonna get anything if we try and pull them back. We can try it. Let's see what we can get. So this may be where you want to grab that. And then we can grab this. If we live a turn, so we'll get 4. There we go here. And let's grab one of those. There we go.
Must brace myself.
All right. Still in it. They're going to be able to build a much better board than ours, though.
The swamps come to my aid.
So we go there. We go here. We go here. And then we double block here. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So we can do 6. We could do 6. Alright, let's hit.
Zendikar has suffered enough pain.
Ooh, not quite enough. Next turn. We're getting close though.
The land will devour us.
So we have to push Ozolith back. We'll see if they spread things out. Oh, the double, all the menace is going to kill me. I can't block enough here. Push, push. I can... Does he have death touch? No. Double block there. Alright, so here's what we need to do. We'll see if it works. Oh, I can't push that one. Oh, shoot. I have to double block on mech and that. And that gives me 2 to get through. So I don't have enough guys. So we have to push these two, unfortunately. He's got Hexproof, Vigilance, Menace, and then there's no combo. Oh, actually, we do this. We can get both. We can kill both. 8, 6. Their choice. We'll take 2. Oh, I'm gonna run out of time anyway. Ooh, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6. Oh, what do we have? Oh, I can just. Oh, but he's got. This has hexproof now. Oh, my friends, my friends, my friends. Let's go dig. I don't know what I can pull here. We have 1, 2. We have 2. We don't even have enough. Oh, we don't even have enough. It's not going to be what we want. No! We can't hit it. The 25-25 is going to do us in. Oh, so sad. So if we could have wiped the board there, we just didn't have enough mana. We might have been able to survive. I probably could have played that differently, but good matches nonetheless. We got to see how the deck worked out. Additionally, the first match was really nice, so very nice long match for you to kind of see how this plays. Abzan Counter's deck, fun deck as well, so it's on my list to show you guys, but I think this match will show you too. But anyway, we'll go ahead here and let them finish us off, and then we will call it a day and go back and check out our board, the deck, and then obviously the number 1 deck here. So again, a lot of tweaking, a lot of thinking, a lot of moving pieces here. Again, you can consider Platinum as Mythic, top end of Mythic right now, very competitive, and just with the reset. So again, Planeswalkers, here we go. We got the number 1 Omnath adventure deck, by Yerlich here. So congrats again. Quickly, here's the deck list. It is down below for you, so if you got questions or comments, let me know down below. And then a list is available for you. If you got considerations, let me know in terms of play there. I'm happy to get your take on it as always as I do this live. So hopefully you get an idea of how I was thinking. The first match was awesome against a mirror, and then the second one and third one not so much, unfortunately. But again, we got to see the deck at its finest and really got to see how we used everything for this number one deck here. Last against Planeswalkers, as always, thank you. Appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. You can like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch. All right, Planeswalkers, you stay safe. We'll see you soon. On to bigger and better things, and welcome to the October 2020 season. We'll see you again. Take care. Mythras out.